looks like I got it back. We'll see. Hey Tim, yeah, I'm back. I had no idea why the camera quit, but I shut off OBS and I turned it back on. It still didn't bring the camera on. I was like, oh, I gotta completely shut down and reboot the computer. So I completely shut down and rebooted the computer, and when I did, the shift button was stuck on my keyboard and it would not let me log back in. And the first time I just thought the caps lock was on and I turned it off, and then did it again. Well, after like the third time, it wouldn't let me log back in as a security feature. If you put the wrong password in too many times, it locks you out. So then I shut it back off and restarted it again and finally got back on. I think it's on. I think I got sound. I got the video back, close up. It's starting to look like it was going to be a real short stream. But we can see, now I got the close-up. I'm starting to get that nice bell shape out there just by putting it down onto the balls. I have a little bit of like a bump and then a flat spot and then another one because that ball went in up to that side. The smaller ball went up to here. This one is only into here. So I'll probably heat it up and go over this ball one more time. I know it's going to get stuck. And then I'll probably grab a bigger ball and just finish the flare. Looks like it's just you, Tim. Nobody else wanted to come back. They were like, we gave you one chance. That's all you get. That's how these people are. I'm telling you. Man. Hopefully the other people will come back. We'll give it a couple more minutes. My piece has got to reheat anyway. Grab that other ball and man, it was hot. This one here, it's on the ground. It's still hot. Got the heat kind of down low. I want it to slowly heat up and not melt it. so I don't have the fire really roaring. And these things take forever to cool. Whoa, it's hot now. Just what I didn't want. Overheat it. Let's get it over that ball and you can see I drove it right up in. About to the Alright, I'll put it here to get it out again. Alright. Now you can see it goes from there down to the other one smooth. It doesn't have a bump and then another bump. But now that I got that, and I'm not sure anybody's even hearing me anymore. Now that I got that, I'll go to a bigger ball. Finish flaring dead end over a big ball. Now I want to see, pretty much one of the main things I want to see is if when I make a bell out of thinner stuff, it rings better than it did out of the I don't have any drop frames or anything. Hey Tim, can you hear me? Trying not to. What are we thinking, Tommy boy? Alright, you can hear me. Yeah, Tim, Alexis, Adam. There was 3-4 people in here, and then I was having, I dropped the camera and I had to restart, and I was having problems with a button was stuck on my keyboard. So I had to shut off and restart, so I wasn't sure. Tim popped right back in, but I wasn't sure if my sound was working or anything. But it is, so we'll keep going. What do you think I'm making? And the big thing, Tom, is I'm using some real thin pipe for this. I want to see if it makes it ring better. Last time I just used some, like water pipe. This time I got some thin stuff off of an Olympic weight set. This was the bar that, or I think that's about as far out as that's going to get it. That ball is probably going to be hot. I like that. I grabbed these tongs down because these are Vevor tongs. I grabbed them because I could grab onto that pipe and manipulate it. A pheasant bell. What exactly is a pheasant bell? As opposed to any other kind of bell. That ball's probably hot. We learned our lesson already. Everybody was wondering what I was going to do with all those balls that I picked up at Quad Steak. Well, someday I'll probably mount them on stakes. But for now, I can use them just to make my bell. When I'm shrinking this end down, I got to do just little hits, lots of them. You don't want to hit it too hard, you'll just smush it and then have to recover. You can see it's starting to bell in already. You know, if you were a king, you had your wee little peasants. Okay, whatever Tom says. Now I'm thinking that maybe if I throw my swage block up in there, I can go into that round and it'll help me work that down without collapsing as bad. But I could be wrong. I'm often not right. Yeah, I bet you do wish you had balls like that. This looks like it may take quite a few heats, almost more heats this than it took on the regular pipe because it's so thin that you can't hit it too hard or it just folds. But you can see it's starting to come in. Yeah, someday I need to make a stand for it. But if I do that, then I'll have to move my animal out of the way. And yeah, you're right. I just need a stand. I mean, these guys can see what I was doing in it, probably. I hope. Don't know if it was working any better than just using the thing. Sometimes the secret to this is just grab a really small hammer. Hit it a lot. Not as hard and more rapidly. It's coming in. Not as fast as I'd like, but it's coming. And yeah, I do need to make a stand. I actually just got when Holland Anvil said they were closing, I just got the second one down there on the floor, and I really need to make a stand for both of them. It's coming in a little bit at a time. You can't go too fast because it's thin and you'll just squish it. I actually have this little cart right here. This little cart right here with 4 wheels on it. It's pretty heavy duty. I'm actually probably gonna use that. I don't know if you can see it. I'll use that as a on the bottom of my stand for my swage block, so that I can just roll it out of the way and roll it back when I need it. Been sitting there for a couple of years waiting for me to make the rest of it. All right, let's keep going. Still going. Slowly but surely. I'm actually to the point where I think that the swage block is hindering me. Not helping me. I still want to figure out what I want to do for the handle on this. I don't even know if I'll get to it tonight. Yeah, well, someday I'll make a stand for it. I mean, believe it or not, I got a whole pile over there of like steel for welding and, you know, angle irons and and all that. I just need to get off my butt and do it. I got a MIG welder, got a stick welder down here, I got a MIG welder down here, plasma cutter. But every time I dig them out, somebody whines, that's not traditional. I'm not mentioning any names, but he works for Roy. Now it's really starting to come in. On the other one, I think I used like a guillotine tool to bring that in. That worked all right too, I guess. Probably even better than what I'm doing right now. I just had this real cheesy guillotine tool here. That I would bolt in right in my thing so it didn't wiggle or jump around or anything. I mean, I could use that on this, it'd probably make it better. Oh well. Had it really nice and it was staying even, but now it's starting to really deform. But we can put it down over the other stake and fix it later. I've got this small ball stake that I did last time. You can put it down over that and fix it later after I bring it down in. I've been did a project at work, so I normally work second shift, and I don't normally get out of work until 11 o'clock at night, and it's midnight by the time I get home, almost. So yeah, 11:30 probably by the time I get home most nights. And we were doing a project at work this weekend, so I've been going in on day shift, getting up at like 3:30 in the morning and leaving my house at 4 to be there at 5. So I worked, I don't know, 7.5 hours today, 9.5 hours yesterday, but on an off shift, so I'm starting to feel it. Not as young as I used to be. Climbing all over big equipment and stuff really is getting tough. You can see we're bringing it in, starting to get that shape. And then the next question I'm going to ask is, will I settle for a flare, a straight spot and round, or am I going to want to make it gradually taper up to the round so that it doesn't have a straight spot? Not sure. Not really sure what I want to do for a handle. I think I want to do something not super elaborate, but more elaborate than just the hook I put on the last one. When it's this thin, it's just heat, beat, repeat. Heat, beat, repeat. And it'll go, but you gotta work at it. Keep it out near this edge, I can start bringing it in a lot more aggressively. You can see it's coming in. Heat, beat, repeat. Now it's going to be a bell, a small bell. Yeah, Thomas, I guess his blacksmith challenge thing this month is they're all making bells. So, and I made one not too long ago on a live stream. I used a regular piece of, matter of fact, a piece off the end of this 1.5-inch water pipe. But this material is a lot thinner, and so I'm trying to see if it's going to have more ring to it. How much different the ring's going to be. So once again, just keep bringing it in and keep working it. Heat, beat, repeat. Heat, beat, repeat. I'm going to turn this handle now. And like I said, to be honest with you, the heavier pipe's easier. Because the heavier pipe, you can hit it a little harder and get some more work done without risking it closing up on you and folding in half, smushing down. I didn't even drop to a smaller hammer last time. I think what I'm going to do is start working back. I'm going to start working back. That way I can put it down over that ball. It'll go to a certain spot, stop, and then I'll be able to pin it down right on top of the ball. I may have to drill this out though if I do that. And Rob, what you'll find is a lot of times I'm just making stuff, just playing around. Doesn't mean I've made it before, doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. You know, it just gives everybody a chance to hang out, talk, watch a little blacksmithing. There's lots of times when I do stuff and I've never done it before and I mess it up. You can see it's curling over now. I do need more material and I need to make that hole smaller, but I don't really want to thin it out. So what I'm going to do is come back here, make it smaller back through here so that it'll hit the stake sooner, and then I can push more of this material in. fire. Maybe a cowbell. I missed it when Thomas left. Eh. Alright, so I had to clean out the fire a little bit. So it's going to take a couple seconds to get a heat on there again. And pull that out. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I haven't tried. I mean, in December I was doing these streams and I was doing a bunch of bells just because it was December. So I did a couple different styles of bells. A cowbell, you mean like flat folded and then riveted type cowbell? It's such a nice shape, and now I'm mutilating it. But it's for the greater good. You can see. Now I got a big flat where I had a nice curvature. And like I said, I don't know. I have to decide what I'm going to do for a handle. Yeah, I've never made a cowbell. So. I think I could probably make one if I tried, but I just never tried. But it is a bell, so it does count. Alright, so we're starting to get that shape back that we want up there. Oops. It's hard when I hold it in front of the camera because left is right and right is left. Alright, let me look in there and see what I got. We'll keep going. I might do the same thing again. That last step that I did and try to bring a little bit more in so that I only got like a little pinhole going down through. And then I may take the pinhole and run a drift in it and give myself a little flange. this is definitely the harder end. The other end was just ramming it down onto a series of balls. Were you here when I did the other end, Rob? Once again, I had a nice shape, and then I went back and beat it all up and took the curve right out of it, just so that I can get it a little farther down on that stake. Am I doing it right? I have no idea. I'm winging it. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to split a little bit where the seam was welded originally on the pipe. Don't really know if I'll have to be too concerned about that at this point yet or not. And like I said, I don't have a ton of energy tonight anyway. I've been doing a lot of extra hours. You see it's starting to come down. It's rolled over, but now I got to get the round shape back into it that I lost. Not gonna lie, this is kind of a pain in the butt. I should have just done the guillotine tool like I did last time. That pretty much squished it right down and dragged the material right in there for me nicely. This way of forcing it in there is kind of a pain. You guys can talk to yourselves back and forth too. I mean, that's one of the reasons like doing these live streams is just so that everybody can hang out and chat like they used to. Just don't invite back. I'm kidding. Everybody's welcome. There we go. Now we're starting to get that shape back. Right now I'm trying to take some hammer marks out, so I'm working it way down into a low heat. Now we got a pretty nice shape there going on. Probably just take one more heat on that, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do for a handle on this thing. And then the clacker is pretty self-explanatory, clackers. I did notice on my other one that up and underneath, I ran in there and took a die grinder and ground all the scale off the inside, and it made it ring a little better. But if you weren't here in the beginning, I just drove it down onto some progressively larger balls. I started out, drove it onto that one, and then drove it onto this one, and then onto this one. So, helps to have them big balls. When you see them there at Quad State, buy them. Or the ball stake that I'm using right now was one of the balls I got at Quad State. Welded a piece onto it, and shaped it up a little on the hammer, or the anvil. Okay, that shape's not too terribly bad. I do have a big flat spot right there in that one spot. I may take one more heat and try to take some of that flat spot out. If I can get it lined up just right on the stake. If not, I suppose I could use the horn or the anvil, but that might be a little aggressive. Hello? Is anybody out there? They're hunting rabbits, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm taking a ton of heat, and it doesn't look like I'm getting much done, but I'm just refining the shape. See, that's going to be the bell. Now the TV in the living room, all right. At least I got one fan. That's going to be hot. Grab it at the bottom. Ooh, yeah, it's warm even at the bottom. Got to do a little touch up. It's lopsided. I'm going to do that cold. All right. So now we have to decide what we want to do for a handle. And I'm thinking maybe no, that end's off, way out. I may have to heat this other end up, go back onto the round, the big round one, and kind of tuck in this side, because if you look, it's not even close to being even. I don't know how that happened. Or I know how it happened. I don't know how I didn't notice it happening when it happened. What's for dinner anyway? I'm hungry. These early mornings are killing me. Okay, I needed the biggest one. Baked potatoes, corn on the cob. Woo! All right. In that case, I mean, who knows? I might call it short tonight and finish the handle next week, because, like I said, I've been up since 3:30 this morning. I'm starting to get a little tired. I know it's early, but it's only 7 o'clock. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, Tim, like I said, I might go up and eat and do a handle for this next week, because like I said, I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. I'm getting kind of tired. I don't like that. It started to roll. What I really need is a pair of tongs I can grab that from the end with. Maybe these monsters. No! Tongs weigh a ton. Like I said, I got tons. I got another rack like this on the back side that's full of more tongs than what's here, but these are the better ones. These are all Fiery Furnace Forge and the ones that my wife bought me. That fixed some of it. Alright. The new block is down there. That one. This is the old one and that's the new one. For those that don't know, not just one is my wife. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it. Tear down this fire and go get something to eat. I haven't really eaten anything all day. I had a couple donuts this morning. That's it. Kind of hungry. So, on that note, guys, I'm punching out for the night early. My wife asked me if I was even going to come down here tonight at all because I've been up and worked all day. I told her I had to, otherwise everybody would get mad at me. Because that's the way they are. Alright, so we got the bell part formed. Maybe next Sunday I'll do the handle part. Maybe I'll do I'll take that bell and flare it out so it doesn't have that curve there. It comes out straight. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Time will tell. Alright guys, I'm banging out.